Whoops.
Yes, it's Whistling Ray. And we've started the Hangout on Air. I keep wanting to call them Google Hangouts, but now they're calling them Hangout on Air.
Well, they've always called them that because there's a difference. Yeah, there's actually, because a Google Hangout and a Hangout on Air are two different things.
Oh.
Yeah, a Google Hangout is literally just the Hangout portion of it. The Google Hangout on Air is where they actually record it and put it on YouTube afterwards.
I always do a Hangout on Air. Well, see, I didn't know that. I'm going to start describing it as a Hangout on Air.
Yeah, everyone just calls them Hangouts, though, so it's...
Okay, Hangouts.
That's fine. But yeah, they are technically two different things, believe it or not.
I'll be darned.
Indeed.
Indeed. Well, today the program is about creating mobile tutorial videos. That sounds cool, right?
It's fun stuff. This is something, it's an untapped market, really, so it should be fun to talk about this. So.
Well, I'll hit the record button for the audio.
Excellent.
And the audio is recording. I love it when a plan comes together. Should probably get what I'm supposed to read because I can never remember it because of my damaged brain cells. Okay.
Yeah, so damaged.
And we shall begin in 3, 2, 1.
Let's try that again.
That was good.
That was awesome.
3, 2, 1.
This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Freevideoeditor.co provides you with a high-end video editor completely for free, as the name implies. So you can start doing things like green screening and adding graphics to videos, and believe it or not, even exporting very high-end looking GIF files or GIF files, depending upon how you label them. So you can make those nice animated GIFs and start posting those all over the internet. And you can check it out right now. Get started today by heading on over to freevideoeditor.co. And on today's show, we're going to talk about creating tutorials for apps, mobile apps. That should be fun.
Cool. Yeah, the shortcut is really cool. I've recommended it to a couple people and they've raved about it.
Yeah, I actually, and by the way, this is not on the radio, folks. Just so you know, so you're getting the inside scoops here.
Bonus from the Hangout.
Yeah, I'm actually on. I've been on a conference back and forth with Dan and his crew and another developer to create more transitions and things like that, which we talked about on the actually, I think we talked about off the radio last time. We talked about, making more transitions and making more filters and things like that. So I've got a coder who hopefully is going to be able to understand how all that works, and we'll get Dan to kind of show them where to go and how to learn to do it. And then we'll start making some more stuff, and we should have some really cool things, because I love Shotcut, but it doesn't have a ton of filters and a ton of transitions. And so this will hopefully change that and add some cool stuff to it. So bonus you only get from watching the Hangout. That's right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Our Facebook page is Video Marketing Madness. Our Twitter is Video MKT Madness. We announce the shows, put all kinds of good info in there. Sounds like a good show today, Ray.
I think it should be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about some very cool things. And, this is a very untapped market, so it should be pretty darn cool.
Good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Yes. So what's going on in your world, Steve? Anything exciting happening this week, especially in the world of Steve and videos?
Well, this is more Steve and radio, but I love doing videos. Yeah, this is videos. I was telling you, I volunteer at Radio Talking Book, which here in Omaha, it broadcasts on the sideband of the public radio station here in town and in public radio stations across the state of Nebraska. And every Monday evening and then every other Wednesday, I read the New York Times, and then another guy reads the Lincoln Journal-Star.
Nice.
So what we've decided to do for those live readings, which run most of the day is just recorded. Volunteers come in and read books and they read magazines. It's for people that can't see or don't have the eyesight they used to have, and so we read to them. So we're going to start doing the 10 to noon and 6 to 8 live readings. We're going to do live hangouts with it.
Very cool.
They've got a nice Mac in one of the announce booths, so I'm going to donate a nice HD Logitech webcam and a Yeti, and it'll be neat. So yeah, another application for Hangouts.
That sounds awesome. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got to test something out today that it's not out yet. It's something that's going to be coming out at the end of the month. And essentially what it is I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of a new thing. It basically it's kind of like Minority Report videos.
Oh.
You can actually have the videos address the person. So in other words, when you go to watch this video, they, you know, Steve, you need to check this out. But if I go there, it's going to say, Ray, you need to check this out.
Oh, really?
And it does it all on the fly. Very, very cool technology. Volvo is they're testing it with some Volvo stuff right now and a few other things, but we'll all have access to that pretty darn soon.
Get out of here.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Don't, because
I won't, because you know that'll ruin the radio show. Yeah. But no, it's very, very cool stuff.
Wow, neat. Yeah, it is cool stuff.
Yep. I was pretty darn impressed by what I saw.
Well, you should be.
But of course, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about something that is a little bit different today, and it's a part of video that gets ignored most of the time. And I'm talking about doing, well, I think in the headline we said tutorials for apps, mobile apps, but really it's more than that. It's tutorials, it's training videos, which I guess would be the same thing. It's demos, it's all that kind of stuff where you can record your mobile phone, your tablet, and use those videos to tap into a market that's very underserved. In fact, if you take your average app off of, let's say, the App Store, and you search for tutorials on it, there's going to be very few, and the ones that they do have oftentimes are they're people literally, holding their camcorder here and trying to show you, and making a big mess out of it. But we're going to talk about how to create actual tutorials using your tablet and some other tools that you can download and use that will allow you to record your screen so you can make tutorials. So imagine being the only person teaching people how to do, the latest image editing app. And then, of course, in that, maybe you're selling a training, or, maybe finishing the video series, costs $5, or whatever it happens to be to monetize that. Or in some cases, maybe it's, you're going to make, when they buy the $10 app, you're going to make $1 or whatever it happens to be. There's a lot of different ways to make money doing that. But we're going to talk a little bit about why this is an untapped market, why you should be checking it out, and how you can learn more about it. And it's a lot of fun. I actually started doing one just about 2 weeks ago. I put one together, and it worked very well. And we did, we had a lot of fun doing it. And it's just such an underserved app. I mean, Steve, have you ever recorded your tablet screen?
No.
No. And that's one of the problems is, do you know how to do it?
No.
See, and there is the main reason that this is an underserved market, because up until recently, it was pretty difficult to do that. If you had your iPhone, if you had your iPad, it was very difficult to record that screen. If you wanted to do a tutorial, it wasn't easy to do that. And while it could kind of be done, it required that you had a bit more knowledge than the average person to be able to do it. In fact, I did a training series back a couple of years ago for real estate agents, how to shoot video with your iPhone for real estate.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I had to literally do what we were talking about, which is I put my phone on a mobile, on a stand so it wouldn't move, and I had to use my video camera and shoot the screen. So you literally see my hand hitting the screen, and it doesn't come out very well, as you can probably imagine. The screen is bright, so no matter what room you're in, it makes everything else dark in order to see the screen. Or if you can see your hands, then the screen looks blown out. So that's not an easy way to do things. Fortunately, we have some options to be able to record our screens these days and make really good tutorials that can then be used on YouTube or on private servers for training programs and things like that. Who knows? Maybe you could even get in touch with Adobe and start being their official training coordinator, because you can create videos and nobody else can. So let's talk a little bit about how we do this. And nowadays, there's actually a few different ways that you can accomplish this. If you're on a Mac, this will actually be easier, but a little bit more expensive. And what I mean by that is, on a PC and on a Mac, you have some free options or some very low-cost options to be able to record your screen. And the first one that you're going to want to check out is a program called Reflector App. And all you have to do is go to Google, search Reflector App, and you'll come up with this program. I believe they have a free trial version, so you can do some stuff with it for free. And then there's a small fee if you want to use it on a more permanent basis. But what that one does is it allows you to take your screen from your iPhone or from your iPad, and I'm sure other tablets and phones as well, and put them onto your computer screen. So literally, as you're touching things, you'll see on your computer screen a picture of your mobile phone or your tablet, and it'll show you in real time what you're doing. So as you swipe, you'll see it swipe on the computer screen. Very cool stuff. The downside is, while it often works pretty good, it has some issues. Sometimes it lags. Supposedly it's gotten a lot better lately, so maybe you won't see a lot of that issue, especially if you've got good fast internet connection. So that should help out a lot, because I believe with that particular app, it's done wirelessly. So it's very easy to set up. It's very easy to use, but you can have a few issues here and there. On the Mac, you've got another option that's really, really good. And for those of you who use a Mac, you probably already have, or at least have heard of, a program called Screenflow. Now, Screenflow is similar to Camtasia on the PC in that it records your screen. Well, one thing that Screenflow does, which is very, very cool, is if you take your phone and you plug your phone into your computer with the USB cord, or you take your tablet, you plug your tablet in via the USB cord, you can then, inside of Screenflow, choose your iPad or your iPhone as a recording option, and it will literally record your screen. Now, the cool thing is, it'll record your screen on your tablet, but you can also record your desktop at the same time, and you can even record your webcam at the same time. So you can literally create a tablet video, a desktop screen video, and you talking into the camera all at the same time. And once it's done in Screenflow, it'll be laid out in different tracks. So for instance, if you want to get rid of the screenshot of yourself, you can just throw it away if you want. If you want to get rid of the desktop, you can get rid of that. So it's very, very editable afterwards. Now, going back to the Reflector app just shows your screen on your computer monitor. You now have to use something like Camtasia to capture your screen while you're doing this stuff. And that works just about as well. Again, you've got some limitations with Reflector and some issues there on occasion. But you can. There's my dogs going crazy. You guys get to hear that. That's free of charge.
You do a good imitation of your dog, by the way.
Thank you. I work very hard on that.
Yeah. I thought, before we had started the Hangout, I thought it was your dog in the room.
Yeah, it was just me goofing around, trying to fool Steve. But yeah, so you can literally use Camtasia to record the Reflector app, which is showing your tablet screen on your computer. Once you do that, you can now create pretty much anything you want. And what I recommend is find some apps that you like, that you know how to use, and then check YouTube. See what they've got out there. Chances are they're not going to have a whole lot on there. Or if they do, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be video cameras shooting shaky hands holding an iPhone, things like that. And you can do a ton better if you use either Screenflow or if you use Reflector along with another app such as Camtasia. You could also use, if you don't want to buy Camtasia, you don't want to buy Screenflow, which by the way can be kind of expensive on both ends. I believe Camtasia is I think $199 or $299 depending upon when you happen to head over to their website, and Screenflow is $99 on the Mac. But if you want to be able to do this and do it for cheap, you use the Reflector app. You reflect your screen onto your computer screen, and then you use something like Cam Studio. Now, if you don't know what Cam Studio is, similar to Camtasia, but completely free of charge, open source, you can do that. The Shotcut Video Editor, that actually has a screen capture tool in it as well. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, it's not a fantastic screen capture tool. It's a pretty basic one, but it will capture your screen, and then you can edit the videos afterwards. So those are some of your options there. But what I recommend that you do, again, find an app you like. So in my case, I went and found, I did a tutorial for Any.do. Now, if you don't know what Any.do is, it's a task managing software. It plans out your day for you, and you can look at your tasks that you have to do and cross them off and all that kind of fun stuff. So I made a tutorial for that because when I went to YouTube, there were a few videos there, but not a single one of those videos was an actual capture of a screen. It was all people scrolling and videotaping it over the shoulder while they're doing it, and it looked terrible. It wasn't great video. We were able to make a nice, clean version of our screen recording using Any.do, doing our voiceover at the same time. So you can see here, this is my setup. You know, I've got my microphone right here. For those of you on the Hangout, you can see that there. So I literally record either my phone, my tablet screen, and I use the microphone at the same time. Sometimes we record the actual desktop screen in case we've got, let's say, the sales page for that particular app or some sort of information, so you can record that at the same time. We take all of that, we put it together into a nice presentation. For the ones that I did, I actually used Final Cut Pro to edit the final video, and I actually put it on the screen. You know, the actual video of the tablet flies onto the screen inside of a tablet, you know, so the video actually shows a tablet. So it's very cool stuff. A lot more high-end than the stuff that you saw on YouTube, which was very, very basic stuff. And we went through all the features of Any.do and how it works and how to set up tasks and how to do all these different things. And it really came out well. And the great thing is there are literally hundreds of thousands, probably millions of apps that have no tutorials or very, very subpar tutorials. And this is your opportunity to be able to tap into that market and make some pretty good money doing this. Now, Steve, you know, how do you feel about this? Do you think this is something that's over your head, or do you think this makes sense?
No, it'd be fine. I'd have no problem with this. This would be right in my wheelhouse. Now, I'm always the first guy to say I'm not a videographer. And what I mean by that is I just don't have graphic art skills. I'm a left brainer.
Sure.
I know how to rank videos. If you're a left brainer, you'll do really well with that. Okay. This would be very easy for me to do. Because, you know, I've got an okay camera presence. I got a face for radio, but I got a decent voice, you know, and this would be easy for me to do. And you know, what it's really about, the quality of the video will be fine. It'll be good. It's about the content.
Yep, absolutely. And here's something to note with this too. We're talking a lot about creating tutorials for your favorite app. You know, maybe you're using Photoshop Express on your iPad and you're doing a tutorial there, but there's another phenomenon on YouTube that makes people a ton of money. And again, this is completely untapped. And that's the old favorite of the open box video. Mm-hmm. I believe last year, the #1 earner on YouTube, or it might have been the year before, was the lady that just opens Disney products.
Yeah.
She gets them in the mail.
Seen it.
She opens she talks about the product. She opens the box. She shows you what the box looks like, what comes in the box. And she gets so many views that she made, I believe it was in the millions of what she made, millions of dollars just recording herself opening boxes.
AdSense,
well, imagine,
AdSense. AdSense revenue or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I believe she's sponsored now as well, but I believe
Okay.
that they were talking specifically about the AdSense revenue she was getting, which was way, way up there. But imagine if you're one of the only people doing this with apps. You know, an app comes out. You know, an app's coming out next Tuesday. They've been hyping it up. Well, as soon as that comes out, you grab that app, you create this open box video, you do a little sneak peek of it. You know, obviously you're not literally opening a box in this case, but you could do the download process, record your computer screen doing the download process, record your tablet screen downloading the product.
Mm-hmm.
Open it up, start using it, show how easy it is, show how it works, show the results. And now you're the same as that Disney lady, but in a market that is so untapped that you could make an absolute killing with it. And it doesn't take a lot of effort. It takes your voice, 2 minutes of a screen recording and an app. And you can do very, very well with this.
And make sure you monetize your videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many ways to do that. Again, you can monetize with AdSense. If it's going to be a hot app, there's probably going to be a lot of people that'll search it on Google looking for information about it, looking for sneak peeks, looking for reviews. And this is your opportunity to be able to do that, and then on top of that, of course, let's say that Adobe puts out a new product called Photoshop iPad next week. And it's a revolutionary new product for the iPad and for mobile graphic design. Well, next Tuesday it comes out. You get it immediately. You do not only a open box sneak peek video, but you kind of learn how to do this. You create 10 or 12 videos training people on how to use this product. Now you can take that first video you did, the open box video, and you can add an ending to it that says, hey, by the way, we have a tutorial series ready for you right now that will teach you all the secrets of this product. All you have to do is click the button. They click the button. They go to a web page. Now they can get your video tutorial series on that particular product. And again, all you had to do was record the screen using one of the methods we talked about earlier and just talk about the product. Teach people how to, click here to do this, click here to do this. Very, very simple and very, very effective. Something that anybody can do.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure, go for it, please.
Might be a dumb question.
That's okay.
At one time, somebody said there's no such thing as a dumb question. And a buddy of mine was sitting next to me. He goes, "Yeah, you haven't listened to Sleeper before, Okay. Anyhow, how do I know what apps are coming out?
That's a great question. There's a lot of hype that goes into some of these apps. Now, obviously, in most situations, apps just come and go. Apps just come and go. It's like with anything, when Apple comes out with a new iPhone, it's a huge deal. When Samsung comes out with, the latest S5, 6, 7, it becomes a big deal. When Motorola puts out a new phone, hardly anybody notices. So you're talking about the bigger apps from the bigger companies. So you're going to want to just go out and do a little research, check out Google Trends that might help you out. Go to big companies, see what they're planning to do. There's a lot of ways to find out. But really, if it's a big enough product, there's going to be buzz around it coming out. I go back to, there was a product called, and I don't recall what the name of the product is. And it was a replacement for your email program. And it was a huge deal. And they did all sorts of things to really hype this up before it came out.
I remember that. Yeah.
It wasn't going to come out for another month, but, we're going to give 10 people access every day up until the end of the month when it comes out for everybody. And that way, just those 10 people can get in and try it out and make sure, anytime you see hype like that, it's something worth jumping on because you can really get an advantage over everybody else. So it's just a matter of going out there looking. There's some websites out there that talk about apps that are upcoming, and you can search around the web and find those. You can go to Facebook groups and just kind of see what people are coming up with. But there's always new stuff coming, and if it's a big product, it'll get the hype, and you'll probably know what it is beforehand. So
good stuff, Ray. Good show today.
Yeah, this is something that's a lot of fun, and it's very easy to do. I've enjoyed doing it so far, and by the way, I should have mentioned this right off the top. Where I got this idea from, for those of you who don't know, was from our good buddy Mike Stewart, who's been on the radio show before, and he created we did a webinar with him where he talked all about creating apps, and so that's kind of where this came from, because I thought, wow, that is just such a great way to be able to make some extra money. And, I really loved that idea. And for those of you, if you want to learn more about that, if you want to watch the webinar, we actually still have the webinar online. You can actually go and see it. It is at raisebonuses.com/app tutorial. Actually, let me double check that. Let me make sure it's tutorial and not tutorials. I should have checked it. App.
Okay. That's okay.
App tutorials with an S at the end. And if you go there, you can actually watch the replay and learn more about it. But just a great training. And, it really opened my eyes, because until Mike brought that up, by the way, I hadn't even thought about, hey, you could really make a killing doing trainings for those particular products, because I know I've made a killing doing tutorials of other things, sneak peeks of other things. Mm-hmm. This is just a whole new market that's completely untapped, and this is your opportunity to jump in on that. So it's very cool stuff.
Now, a little bit of a segue here, changing subject somewhat, but you're going to be doing a webinar with Mike about an hour after we get off the air here, aren't you, on mobile?
Yes.
Mobile video, Facebook mobile, or a Facebook Live video, and
yeah, we are. And I apologize if you're watching this in the future, because you chances are the webinar will still be up in replay form. But yeah, today we're actually going to be working with Mike again on a totally new webinar that he and a friend of his do, and it's about live video. So
Mike's got friends.
He does. He does. So this one's about Facebook.
Mike's a great guy. I'm just, if I didn't like him, I wouldn't give him a hard time.
That's right.
Behind his back.
That's right. So this one today is going to be about Facebook Live, Periscope, and Blab, and how you can use those to make a killing online. So it's very cool stuff, and you'll learn a lot from that if you join that one as well. I don't have a replay link yet, but of course, by the time most of you see this, we'll put a link into the
thing.
Into the thing.
Yeah. And,
we'll put a link into the thing so that you can get back to it.
Chances are, if you're watching this or listening to it, you're on Ray's list somewhere, or Absolutely. You're in a group somewhere or something, so yes. you'll find it. Yeah. You'll find it.
It's very cool stuff. And Mike, what a smart guy. Everything he does is tablet and phone based. He shoots his videos with tablets and phones. He records his screens and creates app tutorials. He uses the live features in those to do periscopes and the Facebook Lives and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's it's amazing nowadays, but you can literally do all of this stuff just by carrying around a phone or a tablet. And you don't even need a computer. So it's very good stuff.
He's been a cutting edge guy for a long time. In fact, he produced the hit song Pac-Man Fever in the 70s.
Yes, he did. He was the keyboardist for the band. So
That's right. Yeah.
He's got the gold record to prove it. You'll probably see the gold record on the
he's got one more gold record than me, I tell you what.
That is true. Well, and for those of you who don't know, Mike also they just did the music for Wreck-It Ralph. The Disney movie that came out a couple of months ago.
So. Well, he did a lot of stuff with Ted Turner one time too. I mean, he actually knows Ted and has worked with them and stuff. So he's not a household name unless you're kind of in
his stuff is pretty well known, but maybe he's not personally. But what's funny is I was on a phone call with him about a week and a half ago. And while we were on the phone chatting, Ray Stevens came up and started yelling at him into the window. Of the car.
You told me about. Did he yell "Guitar Zan" and his jungle band?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember what he said, but he just says to me, he goes, that was Ray Stevens there. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, cool.
Everything is beautiful.
Everything is beautiful
in its own way.
And probably half the people watching this are like, "Who's Ray Stevens?"
I know. He had a lot of hits in the 70s.
Yes.
And Everything Is Beautiful was a huge hit, country, pop.
Yep.
The rest of them were novelty songs, but they were fun. He did one called The Streak, which streaking was popular when I was in college.
Well, nowadays he does a lot of stuff on YouTube with his music. In fact, he's got one. Oh, what was it? It was. Oh gosh, I can't think of one of the big female singers right now was stalking him. It was Taylor Swift or somebody. I can't remember.
Swift. Yeah, I think it was Taylor Swift. I saw that too.
Yeah. Taylor Swift is stalking me, and so he does a lot of great stuff. And he actually, we should get him on the radio show one time because he actually makes a ton of money just off of YouTube itself. So he's one to get on. So maybe I'll talk with Mike about that. See if we can get Ray Stevens, the world famous musician, onto the show.
You know who else we should try to get on the show is Mari Smith.
Yeah,
Facebook Live. She popped up. I was in LinkedIn one time and said, connect with Mari Smith. So I did. And it was actually her personal LinkedIn. And she accepted it. So I could send her an email, I guess. And ask if she wants to be on the show.
Well, we are starting to diverge here quite a bit. But
I know. Sorry.
We're having fun with this. To get back to the apps, guys, if you want to do something like this, and I highly recommend it, it can be a lot of fun. It can be very rewarding, and you can actually make a pretty good living off of doing that and even get some free products. I mean, some people will give you free products for doing these types of things. But if you want to learn more about that, you can check out the webinar that we did. Again, it's at raisebonuses.com/app tutorials with an S on the end. And you'll be able to listen to Mike and I as we do that. So should be a lot of fun. Check it out. Great stuff.
And as always, I get this stuff in the show notes.
Yes, indeed.
Well, sounds like we got it all covered. It's the radio show. I'm going to new spelling for radio. RAYDIO.
Nice. Well, hey, actually, it's funny you say that. I haven't used that one yet, but I use Rayviews, RAYVIEWS, for product reviews. So why not? Radio.
Yeah, radio. Ray Gun. Have you used Ray Gun yet?
I have not. That was a Garbage Pail Kid, though.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, anyhow, radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. I have a face for radio. Today's show made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Want to make high-end videos, want to start doing green screening and 3-point editing and 4K video, then check out our free video editor. You not only get the editor, you get a whole bunch of really cool video tools to go along with it. Check it out right now at freevideoeditor.co. By the way, available for Mac, PC, and even Linux. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely cool. And we'll be back next week with another program. We forgot to mention Earn.show, but we're on the Earn.show radio network.
Earn.show.
Okay, let's end it with a jingle.
See you guys.
Okay, shut off the record button. I guess we'll end the Hangout.
Hey, guys, those in the Hangout, thanks.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. You got a bonus at the beginning of the show. So
you did, and I made it through without sneezing or sounding too nasally, hopefully. So we did good.
And we got to hear your dog.
We got to hear the dog. That's always a plus.
You still got that cold, huh?
No, this is a new one today, apparently.
Oh, so. Well, that's always good to hear. Okay, I'm going to end the.
All right, guys. We'll see you all next week. Have a great week.